My name is Taylor Jackson, aka Lilbro Taylor, and with another season of Hard Knocks drama on and off the field upon us, Apollo Media is here to take you off the gridiron. Isn't that right, Noah? What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another installment of Off the Gridiron, a Houston Texans podcast presented by Apollo Media, all Houston, all original. I am one of your hosts, Taylor Jackson, aka Lilbro Taylor. I'm joined by my co-host today, the outlaw, the gunslinger, Noah.
What's going on, guys? Excited to be talking ball.
Also, producer Garrett, the man who watches movies.
Watch movies.
Hell yeah.
Cross
platforms.
The Houston Texans 2022 season is finally come to a close.
Sure has. Thank God.
What was the record? 3-14-1?
3-13.
3-13-1.
Yeah.
About what we expected there, huh?
Kind of. You know what? I hate the one. I hate the one. I'd rather be 3-14.
It's gross looking.
I was hoping for multiple ones at the end. The two.
The two? You wanted the three? Yeah, honestly, that would have been fun. It would be funny if we tied with the Colts both times.
To open and close the season. How poetic would that have been?
Absolutely.
Talk about poetic. Lovie Smith with a double bird on his way out the building, going for two, getting the Texans an unnecessary win in the final game, ultimately taking away the number one pick, switching them over to 2.
Yeah, Lovie, man, had a lot, have respect for Lovie. You know, what a legend, been around the game for a long time.
I mean, it's his job to go win.
Yeah, well, it's true. But we definitely all know that Cal was definitely telling him, hey, if you don't win, it's okay. But also he was like, you're going to fire me right after this game. Fuck you. And which I respect, but also like, fuck off, bro. Like, you didn't have to do that.
I do respect that he wanted a dub on his way out. You know?
Yeah, I do too.
I think it was less about the dub and more of a fuck you.
I
think this was
speculation.
He'll never be a head coach again either. So, he ended his head coaching career with a win. So that's cool, I guess. You know?
And then now the Houston Texans are searching for their third head coach.
Yeah.
In 3 years.
Yep. Exciting, but I'm excited about this because Nick Caserio has no more time. This is his last chance. He has to figure it out now, and I like that. He's on the hot seat.
Pants.
Yeah.
So let's go down the list. Who are we thinking may be wearing that headset on the Houston Texans sideline next season?
If I had to put money on it right now, I'd say Jonathan Gannon is most likely the defensive coordinator from Philly. He interviewed last year and wanted to take the job, but him and Nick kind of had some differing opinions, and I think Cal isn't going to let that happen this time. Cal said that he in the press conference that he's going to be much more involved in this coaching search, and I think because he's like, dude, fuck off with the bridge coaches. Let's get someone in here who's going to do something, and I think Jonathan Gannon can do that. I think, but also there's a chance Ben Johnson from the Lions is the coach, which he's their offensive coordinator, and obviously he's done a great job with that team and Jared Goff and that whole offense down the stretch of this last season was
clicking.
Humming. Yeah,
it was clicking really well.
Yeah.
And apparently, from what I've heard about Ben Johnson, is that he's pretty much just a mold of Dan Campbell with his philosophy, just less quiet about it. So because obviously he's not the head coach. So hey, man, if you bring that Dan Campbell mentality over here with a lot of smarts and also a great scheme, I'm so in. So in. I want Ben.
There's also some flashier names that have kind of become available over the next. I haven't heard any rumors to Houston, but guys like Cliff Kingsbury is now in the buck. There's rumors that Harborough wants back in the NFL.
Yeah.
Sean Payton is probably trying to work his way back in an NFL job. The thing with Payton, though, is he kind of has his pick of the litter, and I doubt he would want to come here.
Absolutely.
But what do you think the package that the Houston Texans, because if Sean Payton does come back, he's technically still under contract with the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
So whoever wants him is going to have to trade for him. He's going to demand a first.
Yeah, he's going to demand a first, and that's why there's so many reasons why Sean Payton. I would love it, but it's not going to happen.
I don't think it fits. I don't think it works out for either party, really.
I think if he comes back, it'll be with the Broncos. I think that's pretty much the only team that he'll go to. Maybe the Cowboys, but they're not going to fire Mike McCarthy. So, because I mean, even though they probably should, in my opinion, but you can't. They were 12-4.
Little Birdie said that if Mike McCarthy goes one and done in the postseason, he could very well be fired.
Really?
Yes. Or the playoffs. If he goes one and done in the playoffs in the offseason, he could be fired.
Sean Payton coaching that Cowboys team would be something special, and they could honestly send a one over there, and I think they'd be fun.
It'd be a late one though. That's the thing.
True, but I feel like New Orleans is going to take that. But I do want to say this: there's a lot of Texans fans that want D'Amico Ryans as the head coach, and I'll tell you right now, I'm a little tapped in with some parties.
You sourced up
A little bit.
Sourced up. I love that.
Off the gridiron is officially sourced up, and what we've been told is that there's no way D'Amico Ryans is going to be the head coach.
It's going to have to take a lot of convincing.
Well, and it probably can't happen because he has an issue with McNair. He does not want to coach for McNairs, any of them.
That's fair enough.
Which is very fair. So D'Amico will not be the head coach for the Houston Texans. It's just not going to happen. You could quote us on that. So that's why Gannon or Ben Johnson are probably the two. And you mentioned Harbaugh. I think Harbaugh is going to come back to the NFL if not this year, then next. But also he's not going to come to the Texans.
I got him going to the Raiders.
Yeah, I could see that. And I could see Sean Payton going to the Broncos or the Cowboys if that Cowboys have an opening. And then there's a few other names. Shane Steichen, the OC from the Eagles, is a guy that's
a possibility for
the
sure.
Texans did request to interview him.
I kind of feel like Panthers have him in their sights, and I feel like they're going to try to target him.
Yeah.
I think, he will interview with us, but he's going to rather take that Carolina job, I think.
Yeah.
And I got to think that also the Indy job is up, and I think, honestly, the Indy job might be not more attractive than Houston.
Probably.
But some coaches might say, oh, yeah, I'd rather.
Yeah, I think that Indy job is probably a little more attractive right now. They have a little more talent on the team.
What they were saying, we were watching the Nick Caserio presser earlier, which ultimately was a bunch of cookie cutter bullshit. But this is 2 years in a row that they have missed on their guy. They settled for whatever it is. They seem hell-bent on getting their guy this year.
Absolutely. Well, Nick has to, like I mentioned a minute ago. Cal, I know he's had meetings with Cal where Cal's tired of losing. Cal, you can tell something switched in Cal's brain. He, in his press conferences.
You know what it was? It was all the empty seats and stands.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he knows he's losing money, and he's like, this is not cool. So, I respect that. I want him to, get a more involved role, with the search. I think it's important.
We'll see about that. I don't know about that.
Well, here's the deal. Nick, the last two were terrible. And you know what vibe I got from Caserio's press conference? I think he kind of admitted to being like my way or the highway with everyone on the staff. He was like, I didn't listen to people around me enough and stuff like that. He literally said he was saying that in the press conference.
Well, that does make sense because with one rumor, we were very close to hiring Gannon last year.
Yeah. But
Gannon wanted to bring in his own coordinators, and Nick Caserio said, you're not doing that, allegedly. And then Gannon said, well, okay, I'm not coming to coach for the Houston Football Texans. I'm not doing that.
Which I hate that. If that's
really
true,
dumb to me.
Yeah, if you're going to hire a head coach, you need to let him bring in his guys.
Yeah, let him, trust him.
Yeah.
Trust that human.
But at the end of the day, I think Gannon is probably the most likely outcome for the job.
Well, we'll have somebody over them. Godspeed to whoever gets blessed with that. Going back to that final game and the implications that it had, the Texans no longer have the 1 seed. They had it for 9 straight weeks?
Yeah, we had the number 1 pick for a while. Yeah.
The Bears, who have their franchise quarterback, you would think at this point,
looking like it,
sitting there with the 1 pick, probably not going to hold on to it. So
I disagree with that. I think they do hold on to it, and I know they're going to get calls.
You can get so much capital. They're
going to get calls, but I don't know what team would see it as worth it. The haul they would have to give Chicago.
The Colts.
No.
Carolina.
I don't think so. Unless they're dead set on Bryce.
If the Colts wanted Bryce.
But guys, a lot of these teams love Will Levis. A lot of these teams, most teams love Stroud.
We have been seeing a ridiculous amount of mock drafts
For some reason.
having the
For
Houston
some
Texans
reason,
take
Will
Will
Le-
Levis.
For some reason, Will Levis is going, like, just his draft stock's going up like insane. A lot of mock drafts have him going above Stroud being the second quarterback taken. I saw one saying the
ridiculous.
Colts. I saw one that said the Colts are going to trade up to the 1 pick and take Will Levis with the 1 pick.
Don't get it.
I don't either.
Especially after
We might be biting our tongue in a couple years.
Well,
but
I mean, as of right now, especially after what Stroud did to Georgia,
yeah,
the Georgia defense, and almost won.
yeah.
I mean, his numbers were eye popping. His play was eye popping. You wouldn't take him over Will Levis right now?
I think the Will
Really?
Levis stuff is a lot of smoke.
It is smoke.
Yeah.
It is. It could be like that
We'll
Josh
see.
Allen
I mean,
shit.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
like Josh Allen, like he was like, oh, he's not that good.
Yeah,
Why is
yeah,
he mocked at top 10?
Yeah.
And he goes at 7 to the Bills. They trade up and get him. And
Yeah.
then he's a god. You know, he's
Yeah.
Josh Allen now. So it
But
could
you
be
know,
that situation.
there's also the flip side of that coin in like Carson Wentz. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. True.
it's the
Yeah.
draft is always just such a toss up. But
Yeah.
I think there's 5 guys who have the potential to go number 1. It is defensive tackle out of Georgia, Jalen Carter.
yeah.
Edge rusher out of Alabama, Will Anderson. Will Levis. Ohio State quarterback, CJ Stroud, and Bama quarterback, Bryce Young.
I'll predict the top 4 right now.
Go.
I'll just give it to you.
Without trades.
No, well, I mean, even if I was including trades,
Oh, okay.
I'm still not just gonna. Chicago's taking Will Anderson 1. He's the best player in this draft, and also Chicago. They love their big guys, their guys coming off the edge. They like a dominant defense. You know what I mean? Gonna grab him because he's gonna be that guy. He's gonna be that guy in the league. 2, the Texans taking Bryce. 3, who's 3 again?
Cardinals.
Cardinals. Oh, they're taking Jalen Carter. Are they 3?
I
Holy
know.
shit.
I ran into that last night. I
Holy
was like,
shit.
no fucking way. Y'all were that bad.
Yeah, they're gonna take Jalen, or and there's a world where they take Bijan if he has a really good combine, and then 4 is gonna be Stroud to the Colts.
I
It seems safe, but you never know.
so let's talk
It's
about
very
last
early.
let's talk about last year's draft a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think as an overall grade, Texas did pretty good.
Yeah,
Between, obviously Stingley has his issues with staying on the field. I thought Kenyon Green looked really good this year.
really good.
Damian Pierce, an A+ grade.
I mean, he led all rookies in rushing yards. I mean
And
that's
he missed like the last 4
and
games?
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then Petrie, a ball hawk that is just going to get better with time.
5 picks, 5 picks this year.
What,
for
like
him.
150 tackles?
150 tackles.
Sack.
First rookie safety to ever do that. First safety
Really?
in his rookie year to have 150
No, he's a
150
record-breaking guy,
tackles
man.
and 5 picks.
Yeah.
And over.
I mean, he's a dog.
yeah.
So we all agree they had a pretty damn good draft.
And Christian Harris, we can't forget him. He kind of didn't play much till towards the end of the year,
Mhm.
but he came in and was playing well.
Yeah.
Nick, this is why people say to fire Nick, and I'm like, there's no way you can do that. He is so good at evaluating talent.
And you also have John Mechie sitting there in the ranks.
Exactly.
Whenever
Exactly. The only real thing, and this is no shade against Derek because I think he's going to be a really good corner in this league. But I mean,
if he can play,
well, yeah, if he can play, exactly. And also, and like Sauce was right there, and Sauce is going to win defensive rookie of the year. So
Not saying we made the wrong call, but I mean maybe we made the wrong call on that because like I wanted Sauce. Everyone.
do you think
wanted
Sauce is having that level of success in Houston this year? I
I
don't.
mean Sauce has still got it, man. I
Not-
will say
not
the
in that
scheme.
Tampa 2 cover.
I will say
no.
the scheme maybe wasn't right for Derek Stingley, and it seems that he agrees. I don't know if y'all saw this,
Yeah.
but he was
Mhm.
liking a bunch of tweets that Lovie, got
Mhm.
fired and was
Mhm.
using Tampa 2, whatever.
yeah,
So it seems like he knows the scheme was wrong for him, and maybe next year the new scheme will help him out or help out his talents.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It is sting a little bit.
So the question at hand,
yeah,
they hold the 2 pick, they hold the 12 pick.
yeah.
If we are confident in their ability to draft throughout a draft,
Yeah.
maybe trade one of them away.
You
Because
know,
to me,
I don't think
Will Levis, Bryce Young, and CJ Stroud, none of those are franchise savers. None of them are Joe Burrows. None of them are Patrick Mahomes.
I think Bryce could be.
Bryce, I think could be.
Bryce could be.
I even think CJ could maybe. Honestly, if the right team is built around him, he can.
Bryce has insane.
But that's not a franchise saver.
Well,
No, I think all three of these guys could be good NFL quarterbacks. In the Houston Texans situation right now, you need somebody that can come in and literally save the day flying through like Superman.
Here's the thing. I see what you're saying, and I don't disagree. But I don't think any quarterback, I don't care who it is, can come in. You mentioned Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, yeah, it's been great and it's amazing and a top 5 guy in the league. And he kind of saved that franchise. But they also have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Joe Mixon in the backfield, a really good offensive line and a really good defense. Like, if you none of these guys, I'm sorry, I don't care how good you are. If you don't have a cast around you like Joe Burrow has, they're not having that success.
Whenever Joe Burrow started having this success last year, absolutely nobody was saying the Bengals have a good defense and good offensive line. And Jamar Chase was still emerging.
That is true. That is true.
And I don't know how
Jamar
how
Chase
highly
wasn't
are we
emerging
ranking Joe
though.
Mixon right now.
Jamar
from right off the bat was really good.
Yeah, and T. Higgins was a dog last year too. I know what you mean, but also like, and now they have a lot better offensive line. They did great in free agency.
Good players gravitate towards good quarterbacks.
No, absolutely. I'm not. But I do think you're right. But the thing is, we can't ignore that they have all these guys around him that are really good, and so I think Bryce with a similar supporting cast could do the same thing.
So,
and probably CJ.
I guess, I mean, the Davis Mills experiment is over.
It was end of an era.
Even if he's not, even if they don't go quarterback, he's not going to be the quarterback next year.
No.
Let's say Bryce Young does go 1 overall.
Okay.
And Will Anderson's sitting there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I would hope.
You also have the 12 pick. You could probably get Levis at 12.
No, I think
No.
if someone jumps you, gets Bryce at 1, at 2, if you start panicking about, we got 2, is Stroud good enough to draft at 2? Is Will Levis good enough to draft at 2? If you're having that, just get the best player. Just get either Carter or Will Anderson.
There's also, you don't have to solve this in the draft. There is a plethora of guys that are going to be available to get got through either trade or free agency this offseason. Some more likely than others, but here's just a few names I jotted down. Baker Mayfield, Carson Wentz, Derek Carr, Sam Darnold, Jimmy G, Lamar Jackson.
Nope.
Zach Wilson, Jameis Winston. I don't even know why I wrote down Tom Brady.
Well,
Ryan Tannehill. Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
pass.
You don't have to.
I know there. These are some names. There's definitely some names here. Derek Carr is a big name. Jimmy.
You're not forced to solve this through the draft.
Yeah, but
And if you have a talent like Will Anderson staring you in the face, that's hard. I mean, you saw what a guy like J.J. Watt was able to do for this organization. Edge is the premier thing now.
One thing you have to think about is going back to what we were saying earlier. Nick Caserio's feeling the pressure. He's feeling the heat in the kitchen.
yeah,
If there's no way he can convince Cal that it's cool to have another bridge quarterback this year.
yeah.
There's no way Cal probably, not saying he does. I don't know what's going on. I don't know the man, but he probably is saying quarterback this year, or you're gone, or I don't know what I'm gonna do after this. I'm not waiting another year. I'm not gonna have empty seats for another year. Irrelevancy, people talking shit on the Texans. I want to be relevant. Get Bryce, get Stroud, one of them.
I think the only guy on that list of all those quarterbacks that are available, in quotes, because some of them aren't, but or they're harder to get, and Lamar is the only one I think that Cal would be like, okay, you made a big splash that we needed.
Yeah,
but
maybe even Jimmy.
Lamar is maybe Jimmy.
You can't see Cal McNair getting sold on Derek Carr. I certainly
could
can.
maybe.
No,
I could see him doing that, getting sold at least a little bit because Derek's also, he has talent. We all know that, but also the connection of like David as well.
you need someone flashy at quarterback. You need someone. He wants someone.
Derek
flashy
Carr,
at
but
quarterback.
Derek Carr is a flashy name right now.
Oh, maybe Goff too.
Jared Goff is a guy that I would be totally open to them signing.
especially Ben Johnson's coming on. over.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I would I would be pretty fucking happy actually if we signed Jared Goff.
Noah just lit up with that.
I know. I was loving watching the Lions at the end of this year.
The Lions were such a fun team this year.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think it's almost a lock that he stays with Detroit, but that would be pretty fun if he's
gonna get he's gonna get paid. He had a great year. What was it, like 32-7 or something like that? Like 32 touchdowns, 7.
He had a good year. He had a Pro Bowl year.
Yeah,
so it was a good year.
Yeah, so I would be open to that, but I doubt it. I just think they go to the draft. I think they get Stroud or Bryce.
So, all right, let's say Stroud or Bryce at 2. No trades happen. They hang on to both of them, just one or the other.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's Bryce for whatever.
Yeah.
What are you looking to start building on at the 12, or is it just best available talent?
Probably. Here's my thing. Receiver wise, I would love a receiver. I would love Quentin Johnson there at TCU. I think that would be a great pick. Maybe Jordan Addison from USC.
I like Jackson out of Ohio State.
I do like Jackson. I would be if they announced that we got any of those guys, I would be excited. Especially about Quentin. If Quentin's there, you grab him. Now, if he's not there and you're looking at Addison or maybe what's this edge rusher from Tech? Tyree.
Oh, yeah.
Tyree Jackson or Wilson? I think it's Tyree Wilson.
It is Wilson. It is.
Tyree Wilson, something like that. I think that would be nice. I would say unless Quentin's there, if Quentin's there, you grab him. But if he's not and Addison's on the board, but there's still some of these other guys they might like, I would say maybe just take best available. Yeah. But I'm hoping for a receiver.
There's a few tackles that are kind of floating around there.
Don't need them.
I don't think we need them either.
No, we have two very
Titus and Laramie have been great.
I mean, they've been great, but how long are they going to be here?
Well, we gotta pay Laramie. We gotta extend him this offseason.
He wants to be the highest paid.
Do it.
He wants to reset the market again.
Do it. Pay him. We have hella cap space. Pay him. Lock down the left tackle.
He has been incredible.
Jesus, he's so good.
He's really good.
And Titus is the same way. He's not as good as Laramie, but Titus, keep him around. And then and grab some free agent guards. Grab somebody who's more serviceable.
I think with free agency, that's where you grab your guards.
Yeah,
maybe a center. I don't know what their plan is for that going forward, but
there's
got to be a few guys that are free agents that you can grab that would be better than drafting a guy right now.
If they're able to shore up a few spots through free agency, and have a really productive draft, we have the potential next year to start seeing a lot of these pieces start to form a picture.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first time in a while. I know we're sitting here after a 3-13-1 season, but I think the bell curve is going to start coming back up at this point.
It needs to.
If they can execute here.
Yeah.
100%. But last draft makes me think that they may be competent enough to get that done.
Yeah, and especially if the coaching hire goes well, if we grab someone like Gannon or Ben Johnson, right? Is his name? Yeah. I always want to call him Ben Avery. I don't know why. Ben Johnson. And then or there's some other guys. D'Amico's not going to happen, but that would be lovely. I mean, that would be fantastic. Or even Shane Steichen, I would be okay. I mean, what he's done there in Philly's been nice. So, if they do that right, go into the draft, get your guy. I say you get your quarterback. If someone trades up and gets Bryce at the 2 pick, if I'm Nick, I'm grabbing Stroud. I'm just like, let's get someone. Let's get a guy in the building that we can get excited about.
And I think you can be excited about either of those guys.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. If you can't get excited about Stroud, you don't watch ball because
you didn't see what he did against Georgia.
Against Georgia, the dude was elite. He looked like it was 1A and 1A, 1B with Bryce and Stroud because Stroud was tearing up Georgia.
And look what Georgia did to TCU last night.
Exactly.
That defense is deadly. Yeah.
That was an abysmal game.
It was terrible.
My God.
Hated it so much.
But to do that against Georgia and one of the biggest stages in college football playoffs.
Lights aren't too bright for him.
Lights aren't too bright. It doesn't look like it. So I am like, hey, man, miss out on Bryce. I'm cool with getting Stroud at 2. I'm very cool with it.
Yeah. A lot riding on all this. Hopefully, we're on a little upward trajectory moving forward.
Please.
Off the Gridiron is still going to be doing things here and there, especially as news drops.
Yeah.
Throughout the offseason, we'll It'll be touch and go. Oh, especially with playoffs.
Yeah,
We're
we'll
so
do the
bad. I
playoffs.
forgot the fucking playoffs existed.
Hey, we'll just the Texans are taking up all of our brain. Yeah.
But it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. We're still gonna be dishing out Texans content to you left and right.
Yep.
Any final notes on the season, boys?
It wasn't a complete throwaway season. Obviously, we had a good draft. Like you said, we're seeing some pieces kind of come together a little bit. We're getting the band together.
Yeah.
We're getting a bunch of great players right now who play the trombone, play the tuba. Right now, all we need is a composer and your lead violinist.
Yeah.
Freaking, that's
Your
either
drum
Stroud or
major.
Bryce. So you need 2 more pieces, and you can lead this symphony, baby.
Hell of a metaphor to end it there.
Yeah.
I it's right there. We'll see which way it tips.
Only up from here. Hopefully, for God's sake.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Hopefully, we can't
We'll
win
see,
less
guys.
than 3
Thank y'all
games.
so much for tuning in all season. We'll be shooting some stuff for the playoffs. I think
Yeah.
we got an electric chair stream coming with Dez,
yeah.
the Cowboys, and Bucks
Yep.
next Monday. That should be fun.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Be a blast.
Thank y'all.
Later.
Watch football.
Watch football.